So little Marco is got some kind words for Mr. Trump. Of course he does. It's coming up on that time. You know what time it is? It's time to suck up. The headline should say Marco Rubio continues to do what he's told as establishment finally buys the Trump brand. That's what it is, a brand. If you were still unclear up to this point, this is the clincher. Trump is now the establishment candidate. Otherwise, Rubio would be saying mean things about him, because that's what Rubio does, what he's told. That's how you know things are going well for Trump, right? That's how you know he's turning the right heads, getting the right banks to get on his side. It's when Marco Rubio starts saying nice things about him. The thinking is probably that Rubio will help Trump win some actual conservatives. That is, he's being pushed into the VP role, right? But it's the same incompetence we've seen throughout the entire race. Marco Rubio has been spent. That's why he lost everywhere. The facade was blown off. And the reality is that Rubio will probably hurt him more than he helps him, because what I'm able to see is still many months or many years away from being um, uh, this epiphany is quite some ways away in the minds of most, right? Even people on the left are going to not be able to see what's happening, okay? And certainly his voters are, they're going to need some nasty legislation to come through before they realize what's happening, okay? But if you attach them to Marco Rubio, well, then you're poking them in the eye. You're shining a flashlight, a spotlight, onto the fact that, wait a second, he's playing ball with the banks now. Because that's what Rubio does, that's what Rubio is. He has no credibility as an independent agent. And if you attach him, what you're doing is you're destroying Trump's credibility outside of the mainstream. Okay? So what should Trump do then? All these candidates are out of bounds if he wants to maintain his voting constituents. If Trump is serious, he needs to go full retard. And that's the truth. Okay? He'd be better off with somebody like Jesse Ventura. And I'm not joking. Sure, he'll blow the conservative vote, but what is the conservative vote? It's not that much, really. That's what we learned. Okay? Think about this. That is the takeaway from this primary. The epiphany of Trump winning is that conservatism is pretty much a dead philosophy. That's what we've learned over the last couple of months, is that there aren't any conservatives anymore. It's been clear in the Northeast and the West and most of Canada for quite a while now. The surprise is that it's dead in the South too. Except amongst black Democrats, oddly. The only conservatives are in the Democratic Party. It's still kicking in the Midwest, it seems. Okay, fair enough. But it's probably its last stand. 8 years from now, conservatism will be fringe. Absolute fringe. So what does Trump do? He listens to the establishment. The establishment that he just beat the snot out of and toys with getting a conservative as a VP. He doesn't even understand his own phenomena. Okay? That should be phenomenon, right? That's the level of dipshit we've got here. Okay? Trump wants anything but a conservative, quiet down Canadians, as a running mate. What he really wants is a libertarian. Like Jesse Ventura, but he wouldn't do it. Rand Paul, but he wouldn't do it either. You know who might do it is Ron Paul. I think, honestly, that is his best bet, is Ron Paul. Someone like Bob Barr or... See, Glenn Beck has been really vocal about Cruz. It's a shame. I think that would be a great ticket. It would be a beautiful ticket. Gary Johnson. But I mean, Trump Beck, that would be... Like, I'm already laughing, right? But I am serious, and this is the right tactic. He's never going to win conservatives. And he just proved that there aren't enough of them to win a fucking primary anyways. If Trump wants to win this election, he needs to forget about conservatives. He's not a conservative. Conservatives hate him. He wants to go after liberals. Can Arnold be VP? He can't. I looked into it, unfortunately. That would be great. He wouldn't do it anyways, either. But, I mean, this is what he wants to look for. I think that Or if he can find some young up and comer that's very much like Ron Paul, that's what he really needs to be looking towards here, I think.